Yeah, sure. So my name's Silvio Frank Pupo. I'm really and especially in today's conference, an orchestrator. So I'm a serial entrepreneur. So I have a lot of different companies. I'm invested in a lot of the companies that are here today. My main firm is called Logos Capital. It's an impact investment merchant bank. And then Sustaina Cities, which is here, is focused on bringing a lot of these portfolio companies and partners together into a smart, sustainable cities toolkit that can help cities, enterprises adopt these solutions that will help them digitize and transform their businesses to be more profitable, more efficient. So then Logos Capital, our sister city company of Sustainable Cities, can finance these companies and these entities in helping them pay for the implementation and thus gaining the savings and the value add of implementing the solutions of the Sustainable Cities ecosystem, which is on display here today.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a little bit about it. Built a Miamiverse as sort of a public-facing dashboard, so we can connect public data, private data, academic data for everybody to view it, and then show the value of things like Sustainable Cities more specifically. So this is the idea today with our proclamation at the from the mayor, is to make a Miamiverse Day, because it's something that is really meant. It's not meant for me. It's meant for all of us.
Wow, that is so interesting, and it's changing the world, right? How do you feel? Have you started implementing these procedures? Tell me how your system will work um, in the future going forward.
So I think the it's a great question. First, it starts by getting people on board, right? So our mission is a broader umbrella we call Open Miami, and Open Miami is basically my proposal to save Miami. And Open Miami is an initiative to connect, right? Really connect the data that exists. A lot of data is available. It is available to the public. You have county data, you have city data, you have 32 different cities. You have the University of Miami and FIU that also have big stewards of data. And of course, you have the bulk of the data, which is in the private sector. How do we incentivize the private sector to share their data? How do we get people from the community to validate that data? And all of these component parts together make Open Miami, right? And we have a number of tools and projects and platforms that come together to make this possible. The Miamiverse is basically like the Google Earth on steroids for Miami, that helps us like find an intuitive way to find the data, to explore Miami in a cool way that's three-dimensional or fifth-dimensional, whereas time, future, other social insights, to find the data that we need where we need it, where it makes sense. So that's a little bit about the Miamiverse. And the idea is that we're first going to start by onboarding the first few buildings. So we have right now the Frost Science, where we're at today, is one of the core partners of the Miamiverse. We also are partnering with the airport, right? A key port in our transition. We've been pushing to make a smart airport for close to a decade now, as was mentioned earlier today. The universities that have digital models, and the private sector, downtown VDA, the government. So we're just bringing it all together and anchoring it. Now that we have the city level, now focusing on the building level and the infrastructure level. And then from there, we'll say, hey, this is how this works. So other people can see, all right, what am I getting into, right? What do I get out of this journey, going on this journey with you, joining the Miamiverse, joining the Buildings Lab? And so we want to show that to them. Hey, look at what we did for the Frost. This is what you can do. And so we're going to go on that journey. Now we're going to do a call to action. And that's what this is about today, so that other people in the real estate industry join the Buildings Lab, and then they get our support, free technical support. We have our technical partners outside. Hextronics is flying a drone at the planetarium, which they're going to streamline in. They're going to get free drone scans. So we digitize their buildings, add them to the Miamiverse, make them interactive from Miami for the world. So that's probably going to be the process that you should expect over the next year or two.
So those are the ways you're incentivizing, you're showing people how things work, and where are the platforms available to be accessed?
So if you go to openmiami.org, you can learn about all the different projects. You'll be able to click into the Miamiverse. So you'll learn about Sustaina Cities, sustainacities.com. Yeah, Logos Capital will continue financing and supporting this mission. But yeah, just check out openmiami.org, or if you want to learn about the mission of how Open Miami actually helps save Miami, you can follow us on social media. Instagram is Save Miami 305,
Okay.
where we're seeing how we're bringing in students and civic tech and education and arts and culture all together to kind of make this stuff possible.
That is amazing. This is really changing the world, and it's changing the physical world and the digital world.
It is. It is. I mean, I think that the concept is, think global, act local. And, what better place than my hometown to bring all this great knowledge that I've shared with you just before we were going online that I've acquired in Asia, in Europe, in Latin America, to bring it here and incubate it here so we can share it again to the world as a complete picture.
Yes. That is actually really incredible. And how long do you see this, um, the timeline? What is the timeline?
So, folks that join the Living Buildings Lab in the next 3 months, we have our next big event in April, which is with Miami Climate Week. We have our third annual Climate Collabathon, where we're going to be doing a hackathon and bringing people on board to solve different issues. So from now to then, over the next 2 or 3 months, we're going to be onboarding these folks, partnering the universities, creating the first scans. The target Matthew proposed is about 200 buildings in the next 2 years.
Wow.
Really, we're gonna probably go for a 5 to 10. This is a 5 to 10 year project at least, including bringing grants and bringing funding to get it done.
Well, thank you so much for joining me and explaining a little bit about this. This is incredible, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much for having me.
you so
Thank you for
much.
being here, and look forward to seeing you guys soon. Stay tuned.